I think everyone knows who Venus and Serena are, but this story takes like a deeper look at their story and their rise to becoming two of the tennis's greatest stars and most decorated athletes. How did you become involved in this project?
Well, I play Lynn Price, which some people don't know, they have 3 older sisters. Mm-hmm. And so I'm one of their older sisters, Lynn. I just auditioned for this role way back when, and then got a call that I booked it, went on set. It was amazing. Everyone in the cast just clicked super authentically and instantly. And then we just got to work, and it just came to be such an amazing film. And I'm so glad that everyone's enjoying it so far.
Wow. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, so I'm very excited. And I did hear that the Williams family was deeply involved in the development of the story and the production. Did you feel any added pressure of them being so close to the process?
Definitely. So Miss Isha, who is one of their sisters, and Lynn, who I play, were actually on set, really involved in the film. Venus and Serena even visited us one time. So it was a lot of pressure to make sure that we execute this perfectly. But we really had a lot of guidance, and I feel like we all did a really amazing job. When you're doing a film that has such historic and it's so important to so many people, and it's about representation, there's always going to be added pressures and levels of stress, but I feel like we did an amazing job, so I'm proud of it.
Wow. I'm very excited. And I think just you mentioned the representation and everything you said there, and these 2 young girls who came from virtually nothing and pushed by their father to be where they're at now. How important was it for you to really be a part of the story and to bring the story to a wide audience? Because there was documentaries, I know, of the Williams sisters, but this is a kind of a bigger stage, and bringing it to this film that I think such a wide audience will see.
Yeah, honestly, so there are 2 young Black girls from Compton, California, in Los Angeles. I'm a young Black girl. I'm from Los Angeles. So it really kind of hits close to home. Before this film was thought of, mm-hmm. I used to watch their tennis matches, and my dad used to have us out on the court, just playing for fun, honestly. So it's really great to see that, what they have come to and how far they've come. And I just feel honored, really, to be a part of a project like this. It means so much to me to be able to just be on the screen, being a part of their representation of them. And I think it was flawlessly executed, as I said, but it means so much because I know that other Black girls look up to them, and other Black girls are going to watch this movie and see I may not have it all, but one day I can, pretty much is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, it's going to be very inspiring, because I think people know them, but I think to see their story and to see what they went through in this kind of film is very important. It's going to motivate that younger generation. So I'm really excited for it to be released. And then your character, it's sometimes for me, I think it's a big challenge to portray a real person instead of a fictional character where you can develop an experiment with that character. How were you able to really truly embody the true essence of Lynn Price and still make it your own character,
Lucky for me, Lynn and I are actually pretty similar, the way her personality is, and it really helped having her on set, honestly. Just hearing the stories of different things they did growing up and what they were into, and doing my own research. And Lynn is sarcastic, precocious. Throughout the film, I watched it today for the first time. You can see she has so many funny moments that the audience is laughing at. And so I think it was just I was blessed to be able to kind of be myself in a way. We're very similar. Our sense of humor is pretty much the same, and she's so funny, and I just think everyone's gonna love her.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know too much about their I guess their family, so I'm excited to see that part of their growing up and their other sisters. Like I said,
yeah, exactly. Not a lot of people know they have other sisters. I didn't even really know that. So they were all super involved in their careers, on the court with them, helping them, supporting, being a part of everything. So it's great that you really get to see the family dynamic, honestly.
Yeah, I think I read about it too, that the father, I think, was coaching all the girls, mm-hmm. and then so they were all kind of really, really involved in that development mm-hmm. process. So yeah, it's very interesting to see. What what was the, like, that's the most enjoyable part for you to play this character? You just mentioned that she's very similar and she's very fun and such, but besides those things, like, what would you like guys take away from playing this character for yourself, you know?
I think what I really took away from this character, just being a part of this whole project, is just the importance of it. So, you know, we worked with Will Smith. He really just stressed like being a part of projects that are important to you, that are going to tell stories and inspire people, and being able to be a part of a project this magnitude, like, is insane, really.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just really love, I can't like name a specific thing I loved about it. Honestly, it was just everything. Like when I first booked it, I knew it was going to be great, but I had no idea it was going to be this. Like, I can't even, it completely exceeded my expectations. What I thought it was going to be, I wasn't dreaming big enough, because it's just amazing. So I'm really just blessed for it as a whole. Like, we all got close on set. Playing Lynn and being around so many amazing actors made me a better actor. Like, I was honestly proud of myself in that aspect, and just like the camaraderie and everything. So being on set and working on this film in general is just the best thing ever.
It's like you want to bottle that experience, you know?
Yeah, really,
Wow.
honestly, anything to like go back.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And yeah, you mentioned Will Smith. I mean, he's at the center of this film. I mean, the film's called King Richard. He plays Richard Williams, the girl's father and coach. What was your, I guess, you mentioned how he really like coached you through and gave you some good advice. What was like to work with such an experienced actor? Like, what was like, guys, I guess, meeting him for the first time, and kind of like, were you intimidated at all when you found out he was going to be?
The thing is, I knew that Will Smith was going to be playing my dad, but it hadn't like hit me. So when I first saw him, I was kind of just like I was like, oh, like, it didn't even hit me yet, but just like instantly, like, took us, all the sisters, in, guided us, made sure we were comfortable, made sure we understood everything, and that we were all taking in like this process, this blessing. So I mean, meeting celebrities, I don't know, you always have the expectation, or a certain expectation, maybe that they're like amazing, or maybe that they're not, or whatever you may think their reputation is. But everything that people see Will as being such a amazing, generous, kind person, that's truly who he is. So I'm super like blessed that I able to experience him, and just like his brilliance, and being able to kind of like shadow him for that period of time.
Wow, that's really, really good to hear. I mean, I think I would be intimidated, because I mean, you know who he is, and you know like what he's done, and I've heard like a lot of great things about him, but I just like that thought of like, wow, this person is, someone actually said like being starstruck is being intimidated, I think, by the talent they have, and like really truly being humble about it too, you know, to be really a real person. So I'm really happy to hear that experience for you and for all the girls in the film. The film itself, I heard a bit that it was, you were started to film and then it went into like the COVID period. So how was that like for the filming process? I mean, was that the biggest challenge for you, I guess, in the whole thing?
Well, it was 2020 February we started filming, and then I believe, I want to say, I want to say that it was either April or March. I don't exactly remember, but then like everything got shut down because of COVID. And of course, everyone was like, oh, we're shut down for 2 weeks. And we know how that went. And it wasn't 2 weeks. And then we came back in October, literally like the week after my birthday. Came back in October and finished in December. So it really was like the whole year, but it was only about 6 months, I think. 6 months, something like that. I wouldn't say that necessarily was hard, but I do feel like during that period of being in quarantine, we tried our best to stay connected. We were on Zooms. We were reading the scripts. A lot of like revision went down. All the girls, we became like real sisters. So we were still staying connected and all of that. But it did kind of suck, honestly. Like, we're super hyped filming this, and then everything just like, you know, we just have to stop like in the middle of everything. So
because I think it shut down maybe mid-March, April. You know, and
early April, like end of March, I believe, something around that time.
Everyone like yourselves thought it was like going to be quick.
Yes, I literally thought it was going to be 2 weeks and we'd be back. I was like, we'll be fine. It took forever. I mean, it just made coming back so much more special. Finishing off the film was so much more special because it had been such a long process. So yeah.
Well, So I think a lot of I'm still very amazed and happy that production still continued with that whole thing happening. And so congratulations for the film and completing it in those circumstances.
Yeah.
Because it's a family life. Like, how do you really like bond with each other, when you're not in the same room with each other?
Exactly.
So from what I've seen in the trailer so far, I mean, it looks like everyone's so cohesive and everyone gets along so well. So I'm very excited to see that dynamic of the family. Besides that challenge, what was the most challenging for yourself personally in having to portray this character and to really because again, the Williams family, it's like it's a real story that they are that you were portraying. So what is your biggest challenge, I guess, when you were playing the part?
I think personally, it's since you are portraying a real person, it's like wanting to make them proud or wanting them to be satisfied. I remember every time we would do a scene, like I'd be so scared to actually like ask Lynn how I did. I just kind of like try to observe her reactions, like see how I did. But in the end, like she texted me the other day and she really just said like, I'm proud of you. You did an amazing job. And I'm really happy that you played. And so it all paid off. But I feel like the main challenge is kind of just like the intimidation and pressure of the fact that this is an important story, this is a big story that's going to mean so much to everybody, and the people who we play are living, like they're there, they're a part of it, they're watching it, they have say in what we do, honestly. So I feel like that helped, but at the same time it was just a lot of like added pressure for myself. And of course, like I was working alongside some of the best actors, like I said, that made me a better actor, like Will and John and Tony and Miss Ingenue and everybody. Like, you have to step your game up if you're like next to Will Smith playing his daughter. So I feel like that was challenging, but it wasn't a negative challenge. It was a good push.
Yeah, it's a great growth experience for you, I'm sure. It's like, it's a lot. And I think, the cast is amazing. I mean, I saw who was in it and I'm like, wow, this is going to be a great story. Speaking of which, I think I was reading that you have over 10 years of experience already in the industry. I mean, you're so young, so that's amazing. So now this film under your belt, is there any role that you maybe haven't done yet that you really want to challenge yourself with? Any kind of a dream role that you want to play that you're thinking about maybe diving into?
Yeah, I've been acting for a long time. So I play like a well-rounded amount of roles, well-rounded characters. I personally feel like I can really step into anybody's shoes. That's kind of what acting is, like being able to be in somebody else's shoes and play them and execute them. I would just love to, I've always said that I kind of want to do like a girl who's maybe like a rebel, kind of a coming of age story, something that like teenagers can relate to. That's something that's just have been in my head, but I can honestly play anything. I could be a superhero. I've thought about that a lot. Anything, playing important stories that also just kind of like align with my morals, things that I want people to see, that like I can sit down and watch it with my grandma and her not freak out. So I want to stay true to myself, but be able to like branch out and do anything outside the box, honestly.
Yeah, it's great. And I read that you also like to write a lot as well. So are you thinking about, I mean, obviously everyone might be thinking about, but like writing your own story, writing your own narrative?
Yeah, I like writing. I'm more of like, I write poems, I write stories that kind of just like reflect my feelings, and then I can put it in a cryptic or beautiful way, and it reflects, and other people read it and they're trying to interpret it. Like I do that a lot with my friends. But I definitely have so many different like ideas and stories written down. Like I have a notebook filled with just like so many different ideas for screenplays, ideas for movies, ideas for shows. So definitely I enjoy being behind the camera too. So I'm definitely going to be doing that soon. I definitely see that.
Yeah, I feel like you have a long, fruitful career ahead of you still. So is there any projects that you can maybe share any details with that you're currently working on at all?
Not really. Everything is really in the works and has to be kept secret. I will say that you can just look out for me on social media. I'm constantly keeping everyone updated. I'm constantly posting. Like I'm never even off my Instagram stories. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
I honestly just assistant directed a short film, and that was really fun to be a part of a little project like that. And just a whole bunch is coming. I see myself branching out into different industries too. You may see me making clothes. I love clothes. See me doing a whole bunch of stuff. So you just have to keep up with me because it's coming up.
Yeah, I think your aspirations in your career far exceed how old you are, because like it's so many things, and it's fantastic to hear, you know, that you have all these interests and then you're doing them, you know, they're actually going out and doing them. Thank you for your time today, but if there's anything you want to say to everyone who supports you, your fans, the